Hey everybody, thank you for joining me for episode 10 of my Distinctly Average series, in which I occasionally put up some videos which are kind of average. Today's two video pair is going to be about the Cromwell B, which was one of the Berlin Trio tanks which was featured by Wargaming, the other two being the IS-2 Russian Heavy and the Rudy, which is a Russian medium. And they were quite popular at the time and caused a little bit of controversy because Wargaming didn't sell them separately. They insist on bundling 30 days of premium and a garage slot as well. People didn't necessarily want the gold, or the premium, sorry, and so therefore there's a bit of moaning on the forums. Now, as for the tanks themselves, I don't know anything about the Rudy or the IS-2 because I didn't buy them. I wasn't prepared to spend £40 or so, 60 euros, whatever it was. But I did fancy the Cromwell because I needed a British medium crew trainer, and this seemed to do the trick very nicely. I do have you'll notice a Matilda Black Prince down here, but this is kind of a very situational tank and wasn't very good at training British crews, to be fair. But the Cromwell is an exceedingly good trainer. Now, I'm not going to go through all the Cromwell B stats because lots of other YouTube World War of Tanks players have done that much better than I have. But there's not a great deal of difference between the Cromwell B and the actual Cromwell itself, the Tier 6 normal medium British tank. The crew that came with it, however, all had 100% Brothers in Arms skill, as you can see. And when it came out, it also came with a ×5 set of missions, ×5 experience for the tank and also therefore for the crew. So therefore I was very quickly able to get my second skill up quite high. So as you can see, it's very nicely adorned with some camo. I took advantage of the camo as well, and it's just a really good looking tank, as we know already. Now, the two games I'm going to show you today, one is going to be a Tier 8 game in which I gain a Mastery Ace Tanker Batch, and the other one is going to be a Tier 6 game where I just try so hard and just don't quite manage to do enough in the game. But without further ado, I'll let you crack on and watch the videos. Right, here we go. So we are on Pearl River. It's a Tier 6 battle, which is perfect for the Cromwell B. And the teams are... these teams seem to have the slight skill advantage in terms of W and 8. But other than that, there's no real outstanding matchmaker fails. So let's take a look at what we can do. Now, normally dashing across to D6, I don't think it's a very good play for a medium tank with no armour. Similarly, the B8 area is normally where the heavy tanks duke it out. So really, for me on this map, mediums tend to go south and take advantage of the undulations of the hills and the terrain there, and also they run into other mediums. Now, I'm quite confident if I'm facing another medium head-to-head, I can do quite well. So immediately I pull out and go south, sorry, not north, head south. This M4 that I'm just about to overtake here, he proves to be quite useful later on in the game. So let's keep an eye on him. And I think he's armed with the derp gun. Yes, he's armed with the derp gun, which is the M4 driver's weapon of choice. In case you don't know what derp means, it's the high explosive gun which you can mount on the M4. I think it's 105mm, I can't remember. Now, I'm sort of going up here just to see in case they do a quick push, that some lights do a quick push, but I realise that my gun depression is not very good. I'll push the tree down to try and maybe utilise the cover it may give, but it drops a bit too low. And I realise that my gun depression for that spot isn't very good at all, so I'm going to move. Meanwhile, the Chaffee, who looks to be quite a good player there, he's actually pushing up. So I'm thinking, okay, there's no point me sitting back here. Absolutely pointless. I need to get in, get some action, do some damage, and basically lead from the front. I tend to find with these mid-tier games that if you're aggressive and you kind of lead from the front, then the other tanks tend to follow you. So that's what I plan to do. However, the Chaffee's doing an exceptional job here of scouting up, and brilliant. So we see our first enemy, T-3485, dangerous tank, and I quickly pull back in, wait for him to maybe get distracted and shoot someone else. He's making a classic mistake here of some players where they just pull out and show you their size. He's pulling out way too far. He doesn't need to pull out that far. But I'm conscious of the fact that he's got quite a nasty gun on that, and I don't have a lot of hit points. Now the Hetzer on the left, there's no danger to me or to this E2. So let's push up. So while T-34 is keeping his head down, I'm going to push up and make it up to that corner. Quickly checking to my left. Fortunately, there's nothing there. And then push up and see what I can do at close range. And again, it will encourage the other players to move up as well. So let's play peekaboo. So he fires, and I know that he's probably got 3 or 4 second. But what I want to do is not trade with him, but I'll wait till he fires at the more heavily armoured E2, and I'll just nip in and take shots at him. So he's fired, and I just use the auto aim now just to make my shot even quicker. So I push up, and I make a bit of a tactical error here. What I do is I quickly check to my right, and then I go after this Hetzer, but I'll just pause the game there. I turn around and zoom around. Now I don't see these two guys, the AMX and the SARL, to my annoyance. So let me just... So I see myself getting hit, and I find out, oh, being hit from behind, so I'm thinking, damn. So I quickly back up. I get a snapshot which hits the AMX to my surprise. Get out the firing line, and I manage to bounce a shot from the AMX as well. So the E2 is engaging the SARL, which is one of the new French tanks, with a ridiculously high turret, which is asking to be shot. And I made a mistake of using auto aim now, which I shouldn't have done. That was just more of a reaction. So just again, I'm going to pause it here. There's a KV-1S down there in F5. So what I'm going to do now is I'm basically going to go down and see if I can spot him. I think briefly about going down there, but I'm thinking, nah, I don't think I can get through the buildings there. So let's push down, see if I can find the KV-1S. And oh, there's a KV-1 instead. Now, again, I'll pause it. What I don't notice is this KV-1S here. I don't see him because I'm focused in on the KV-1 over here. Get a shot at the KV-1, and this KV-1S lands a really good heat. So it's an HE round. You can hear that by the fizzing that it hit. It did quite a lot of damage. So I'm still a little bit hurting from that. But I got a lot of support, and I'm kind of regrouping to think, what can I do here? So I'm trying to try and get the KV-1S from the side here, but I realise that I can't actually get through. Not get through. I can't get the angle on him at this point. So I'm thinking, okay, well the E2 is going in and really going for it, so I'm going to try and help him out. I'm going to use the declination of the ground here just to hit the KV-1's turret. I don't think he's got the gun depression, so I'm desperately trying to move back before he shoots. I can do that another HE round in the face. He shoots the E2, only does 28 damage, so now we can finish off the KV-1. There we go. Don't think he can see me through these trees. So he's pulling back now, so I need to try and... No. Now, I see to my right hand side that the TOG and the M3 Lee there is going to attack the T-34, so what I want to try and do is get around behind them to try and offer some assistance. But I don't know this map as well as I think I do. And then I realise that I can hit the KV-1, so I aim for the KV-1. Too late. Then I realise that, oh, I can hit the 3601 as well. So let me do that. I snap off a shot quickly, it misses. Now I thought there was a bit of an uphill here, so I could get round to behind the TOG and the M3, but I need to go around the long way instead. And this unfortunately means that the TOG kills the T-34-85, which quite frankly is no surprise. TOG's got a very rapid firing gun and a massive health pool. M3 Lee isn't paying attention to the minimap, or he's AFK. I think he's AFK because he's not even moving. I go for the tracking shot there, just stop him turning round, and then move up, finish him off. Now, I'll just pause the game here. So what I'm doing, I'm hoping now that the TOG is not paying attention to his minimap. But, I mean, the situation isn't very good at all. We've got an enemy E2, M4 E2 Jumbo is now in our base. We've got 2 tanks left, so the Hetzer basically starts pushing back towards base. I'm hoping at this point that the TOG has not turned round, because I can really take advantage of him with his slow traverse if he hasn't turned round. But it turns out he has. He knocks out my gun, and I decide, well, I'm not taking on a TOG too frontally. He's got a really good rate of fire and a very nice gun. So, no, I don't think so. Which means I can't get back to my base in time, so I've got to tread very carefully here. So I decide, you know what, let's just try and do as much damage as I can. I'm hoping the Hetzer can reset. So hoping the Hetzer can reset, I'm going to go for the RT, which is no doubt going to cause a problem for the Hetzer. Track him, and I'm aware that I'm being shot at from behind, so I try and use this rock for cover. And I really duff that shot up properly. The trouble with the Cromwell doesn't have a lot of gun depression over its rear, which I'm actually going to find out to my cost momentarily. I thought the gun depression at the back is much better than it was, and actually it's not. You see now that the Hetz has died, so I've got no chance of winning this game. However, I've done 2,100 damage, which isn't bad for a gun that only does 100 damage or so a shot. So I'm thinking, okay, well I've got to get down now. I've got to get under his gun, which might buy me a little bit of time. Now, crucially, I've actually got auto aim still switched on here, which I think may not be such a good idea. I don't want him to jump down on me, which is exactly what he's trying to do now. So I duff that shot up completely, and see, now the problem here is that I can't aim down over the back of my tank, and he finishes me off. So 2,100 damage isn't too bad. Let's have a look at the post-game stats. Okay, so that performance earned me a Mastery Badge Class 2, a couple of ribbons, but you can see also that I got the High Caliber, which is the most damage done on either team. On the next tab along, we can see that one or two players on sort of both teams did the majority of the damage, which is not uncommon in these sort of lower tier games. So here's the end plate, and you can see that the 26 shots fired, 17 hit, but of the ones that hit, they all penetrated and did damage as well. So tier 6 game, 2,000 damage gets you about 46,000 credits, and I got an extra 6,000 for earning a ribbon. I think it was probably the High Caliber badge or ribbon that earns me that. Right, so let's move on to the next battle. Right, so here we are on Serene Coast. It's a tier 8 game, which is what makes getting an Ace Mastery badge in this game much more pleasing, because it's much easier to get a Mastery badge in a tier 6 game with this particular vehicle, for instance. So to get in a tier 8 game is actually really quite pleasant. So the teams are, well, we've definitely got the advantage in W and 8 skill, but other than that, they've got more heavies than we have by 1. But other than that, we've got a few more mediums, and it's it's fairly even split. Now, normally on this game, heavies go to the east, mediums go to the west. But I'm thinking, look, I'm a fast medium. I don't want to get into a shooting match with a Panther or an Indian Panzer, because that will end up. I mean, I'm doing 100 damage; they're doing 200 plus per shot. I'm not going to last very long. So I'm thinking, right, I want to play the task of a light medium, if you like. So I'm going to go over the tracks here and go down into the depression and just see what an annoyance I can be, because that's the value of light medium tanks, is you're such an annoyance, or you can be such an annoyance that the heavier vehicles will be trying to concentrate on you because you may be an easy kill, while your team are hopefully shooting them full of holes. So here we go. So I noticed straight away on the mini-map I've got VK 2008-01 appears behind me, and that shot just goes disastrously to the left. So I'll get a quick shot on him before he goes down, try and put some terrain between us. Again, the shot misses, I snap. I really don't want to get hit by this guy if I can avoid it. However, I'm getting back up now, so that's quite nice. So the 2801 backs off, but here comes a Panther. And again, I'm really concerned about what's coming behind me, but at the moment nothing is, so let's get a shot at the Panther while he's preoccupied. Another quick cheeky shot. You can see the rate of fire on this Cromwell is absolutely lovely. It's one shot every 4 seconds, I think. So I'm going to harass this Panther, because I know that my rate of fire is much better than his. So he's backing up, he's run out of options. He's facing a Tiger 2, which takes a massive chunk out of him. And I don't want to get hit by this guy. He's got a huge amount of penetration. I'm not going to bounce any of his shots. Also, you'd think, but that was an extreme angle, so I was quite lucky to bounce that. But here comes an SU-152, so all I'm going to do is keep him occupied. SU-152 turns around, easy shot into his side with a derp cannon. Boom. Right, Panther done. Let's move on. Let's wait a few seconds for my spotting to wear off. Can I get a bead on the Jagdpanzer? No, I can't, so let's push up. I'm fairly sure the SU-152 is going to follow me, so feeling quite brave, like a little kid with his bigger, uglier brother. I push up, really wary that there's going to be a whole host of tanks waiting for us, but maybe not. Maybe they've left this area wide open. So let's push up. Now the Jagdpanzer doesn't see me coming, and he just kind of decides he's going to relocate at a particularly bad time. So again, great fire speed. Nothing to my left, nothing to the right. Well, I'm going to push up and chase after this Jagdpanzer. Absolutely. Finish him, keep moving, keep moving. A bit wary about what's around the corner. It appears to be nothing's around the corner, so they've completely abandoned this flank, which is really interesting. I see the T-20 engage the SU-152, so I'm thinking, okay, I need to help this guy, because SU-152 is kind of turretless and can be quite vulnerable to a fast medium. So let's get in there. And the GW Tiger P punches his ticket, so that saves me the job. And also saves me losing loads of ammo. Here's a Tiger 2. Now I pause here just to see if he's AFK, because sometimes you get AFK heavy tanks, of course you do. But he's actually moving towards me. And I get hit by a 3002M, which is not cool. So I back up. I've got no intention of taking on a tier 8 heavy from the front. In the meantime, this 3002M is being quite annoying, so I heal my gunner, because I'm going to need him. Back off down the hill, turn around, and get the hell out of dodge. The SU-152 is also going away as well, so nah, there's no point taking on the Tiger 2. 300 and something on damage per shot? No, I don't think so. He could two-shot me. So, start to relocate, keep moving, and go under the bridge here and see what's in the middle. It's looking relatively good for our team, with 3 in the lead. And I spot an Stora Emil. That thing's got a nasty gun. 500 damage. I really enjoyed playing the Stora Emil when I went through it, but I just made really good use of the gun depression. So I load some gold here. I thought, what? And then I realised the Tiger P, the GW Tiger P has obviously killed the IS. So I reload some normal AP. I normally don't load gold if I can avoid it, but the situation called for it. I probably wasn't going to get through the front of an IS at that distance. So, now, I'm waiting here, trying to get some spotting through the bush. I'm very aware of the Stora Emil. He can one-shot me all day long. So I'm thinking, yeah, okay. So I call for help and signal the Stora Emil. And the KV-3 says, okay. And also I think the RT does shortly afterwards as well. Or maybe I was imagining it. There's a Stora Emil. Quickly get behind the house. And I wait and see if the RT, and then boom, GW Tiger P again. Fair play to this guy. He's having a blinding game. He's got 3 kills, so I thank him in chat. Now, tank's coming from the left, and I've got a Tiger 1 who I think is busy without my 2 friends over there. So let's put a couple of shots into the Tiger and move. Stick a move. He's turning his turret. So I'm trying to get into the rock here, keeping an eye on the 3002M who really wants my blood. And he comes through the building. This is his first shot. Now, I've got 407 health, he's got 630, but I can fire slightly faster than he can, so I don't really want to get into a face-to-face, head-to-head battle with him, but I don't think I have much of a choice, so I wasn't expecting him now to move in quite so aggressively, but he does. So I load gold, because every shot has to count here. I probably didn't need it, to be fair, but I was having such a good game I didn't really want it to end at this point. Smart player, he blocks me from getting around the back of him, but he's showing me his side. So I reload AP, because I don't need gold anymore. In fact, I probably didn't even need gold for that, but when you need it, you need it. So, a couple of RTs to hit. I'm going to go for the one in front. One goes in, and another. Go for my third, and he gets killed by the KV-3. So there we go, all in all, job done, game over. 2,200 damage. Let's take a look at the post-game results. Okay, so here we have the end plates. You can see I get a Mastery Ace Tanker, which is really great, and also I've done a lot of spotting as well. I think one of those badges is the Scout ribbon, sorry. And I think this is where the difference comes in a tier 8 game. If you do a lot of spotting of targets, you know, tier 8, tier 7 targets, which I've been doing, the IS and the Tiger there, for instance, Tiger 2 as well, you tend to get quite a lot of WN8, I guess. That's how it works. So you can see I've got 2,500 spotting stroke tracking damage. I think that was mainly spotting actually. And obviously 2,200 of my own damage, so it all adds up. And on the next screen it's always really nice to come top in a game where you're, well, the bottom tier, to be honest. So tier 8 game managed to come on top, so I was really pleased with that result. The rest of the team, the top 5, did a lot of damage between them, so that was a really good show by all these guys. And again, a big shout out to the GW Tiger P, who was totally on point. RNG was obviously in his favour as well, but there was obviously skill involved with that as well, with impressive 3,200 damage. So here's the detailed report, and we can see that 23 shots fired, so I missed 5 shots, but of the shots that hit, they all penetrated, so that was really good. 2278 damage, 2453 spotting we saw, and we can see that because it was a tier 8 game I got a significant amount of credits, 80,900. So even after vehicle and ammunition was taken off, still leaves me with a very nice 61,000 silver and almost 5,000 XP, so that was really worth it. So I hope you enjoyed those 2 replays, and I hope that if you have a Cromwell you're having as much fun in it as I am. And if you did like the video, please leave a like or a comment, and I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers, bye.